What's up with the YouTube? Top of the morning, man. Day 2. November's 30 for 30, right? So, we're going to do it like this today. I've been, when I came up with the idea of doing these videos, I was like, damn, that's a lot of videos. But I mean, I done did, you know what I mean? I did 7 years straight, so I got, you know what I mean? I got content, but the thing is, I don't want to like feel like I'm just drudging on, just, you know what I'm saying? Just dropping bullshit. So these 30 days is, I'm going to come up with some of the shit that when I think back, when I look back on prison, it's the shit that sticks out to me. You know what I'm saying? And, a few of these videos are going to be about significant people that I ran across. You know, whether friend or foe, you know what I'm saying? Because they were, you know, because obviously they were a big part of my story, right? Or maybe not a big part, but a story, you know, they played a significant part for however long it was. So today, I'm going to talk about my celly E Dogg, rest in peace. And the reason why he's on here is because E Dogg was something else, man. In a good way, though. Just thinking about him makes me smile, right? And, you know, I found out a couple years back that he had passed away on the streets. If anybody's familiar with the Monster Cody story and how they found him like in a tent dead or something, they kind of found E Dogg the same way, but he had been shot and killed in LA. He was from LA, he was from AdSeg Gangsters. And they had found him. I had searched his name on the internet, and his name popped up from in the LA Times newspaper. They got like this homicide section in the LA Times, and his name popped up, and I think he got killed in 2016, I wanna say. And I read that, and it hurt my heart a little bit, you know what I mean, to see that he had passed away, and that he was, I guess, pretty much down on his luck when he passed away, because they found him like near a homeless encampment or tents or whatever on the street or whatever, and they found him with a gunshot wound or gunshot wounds, whichever it was. And which is a cold, you know, nobody should die like that, you know. And to be honest, you know what I'm saying, nobody should live like that either, you know. You know, the homeless problem, we all know, is out of control. And it's only getting worse, you know what I'm saying? But this isn't a political platform, you know what I mean? You know, politics are politics, you know what I mean? They're all fucking liars. And the 1% will never give a fuck about us 99%. So that's why we actually all need to start getting our shit together and coming together and looking out for each other, because they're definitely not going to look at, they're not all of a sudden, after however years this country's been around, they're not just going to start looking out for us now. So, you know, but that's a whole nother topic in itself, right? So it fucked me up, man, you know what I mean? And to find out that, you know, 1, he passed away, and 2, in the condition that he passed away. E Dogg was a smart dude, man. Intelligent, young. We were about the same age. When me and him were cellies, we were 20, 23. You know what I mean? 24, 23? No, like 23. And so we were together on the yard, and we never really interacted with each other based on our cars. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm from San Diego. Hung out with the San Diego car. He was from THRU Gangsta, so he hung out with the gangster car. And on that yard, there was a lot of 60s on that yard. And, you know, everybody knows the story, you know, behind the rolling 60s and the 8 trays, and you know, they're mortal enemies. And so the homies on the yard from 60s, you know, I used to fuck with them, you know what I'm saying, every now and then. And, you know, they would always be like, and this is, anybody from my neighborhood will tell you, like, so we're 60s, but we're not rolling 60s. We're not neighborhood 60s, as in the original 60s in LA are. They're neighborhood 60s. They're part of the rolling car, the Hoodster car, one of the biggest representatives of it. But where I'm from, we're not neighborhood 60s as they are in LA. But the homies from 60s, the LA homies from 60s, when we're on the yard with them, they'll always, you know, they still, you know, you get to know each other, and they'll be like, "What's up, Hood? What's up, 6-0? What's up, cuz?" You know, and so, and then a few of the homies that you get to know, that I got to know, like the homie Tadpole, the homie J Dogg, you know, they'd always joke around like, "Come on, cuz, you know, man, you a hoodster, bro. You a hoodster, homie. You from 60s, homie. You a hoodster." And we joke around like that back and forth. Which, being a hoodster is not a bad thing at all. You know what I'm saying? You know, shout out to the neighborhood homies, to the neighborhood homies, to the 40s homie and Dago homie. You know what I'm saying? Them were the homies. You know what I'm saying? And we're not separated like that in Dago. You know what I mean? For the most part, we all fuck with each other, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, shout out to the neighborhood 40s, you know what I mean? And since I'm speaking on that, shout out to the young homie Hoodie Hood. He's got his channel on here, doing big things, you know what I'm saying? Doing good things, I should say. Got a good message. He's a good youngster with a good head on his shoulder, right? So go check him out. It's the homie Hoodie Hood. Good people right there, man. But anyways, to get back to the story. So, I think that, and actually E Dogg even told me this, you know, because of the beef between the 60s and the 8 trays and the gangster car and the old car, you know, he seen that I used to fuck, like the homies from SDC, we used to fuck with the neighborhood car. So he kind of like, you know, they kind of like shied away from us, you know what I'm saying? Which is cool. It happens all the time. You know what I mean? It's, you know, in prison, it's all who you align yourself with, right? You know what I mean? And there's lines drawn, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it doesn't mean that you don't fuck with them, or like you don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like you're standoffish. Nah, none of that. It's just that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got your people that you fuck with. You know what I mean? And the next motherfucker got the people that he fucks with. You know what I'm saying? So I used to see him on the yard. We'd interact here and there. see each other because he used to be at the gambling shack or on a basketball court, and I didn't fuck around at the gambling shack, but there was a couple homies that really did a lot. So I'd go stand over there. I might go over there and bullshit or something after working out or whatever. Basketball court, the same thing. I stopped playing basketball after an incident happened on a basketball court. That's going to be one of the stories in this 30 for 30 series. So I'll save that for another day. But a few of the homies would play basketball too, so we'd go stand over there and, bullshit at the basketball court. So I would see E Dogg, and we'd say what's up to each other or whatever, and, hi and bye, keep it cordial, keep it civil. In August of that year, a couple of his homies from his neighborhood, the homie Tiny Spike and the homie Tiny Face from THRU, and I want to say the homie Bandit from Hoover, from THRU Hoover. I know for a fact it was Tiny Spike and Tiny Face, and one homie from Hoover. I want to say it was Bandit, but it might not have been. They ended up getting into it with the police, and they stabbed a sergeant and beat up like 2 COs, right? And so, of course, they naturally got them up out of there that day. Hurry up and took them up out of there, right? Which is common, you know what I'm saying? After an incident like that, the police, they hurry up and try to get you up out of there. And so they did, They probably whooped their ass too on the way out, scandalous. That's how the police get out. But yeah, so they got Tiny Spike, Tiny Face, and the other dude up out of there. And of course we went on lockdown, and from that point on, there was no more, that was it for that yard as far as programming. What they ended up doing was, they used that incident as a reason to remove all the Crips off of D yard in Lancaster. And all of us, more than like 40 of us, not probably, that's being frugal. I would say probably at least 60 of us received write-ups for conspiracy to murder staff. They made it into this big-ass, fake-ass conspiracy amongst the CRIP Corps to murder staff, which was a bunch of bullshit, right? First of all, the Crips don't even get along. We don't even get along with each other. Second of all, it was an isolated incident. Whatever happened that morning between them COs and that sergeant and the homie Spike and Face and the other cat, that was, that was an isolated incident. I'm not even sure to this day what initially happened. I just know that they had tried to implement some bullshit policies, and motherfuckers weren't going for it. You know what I'm saying? They were gonna try to treat motherfuckers like fucking school kids. Walk the child with your with your hands behind your back, in a single file line all the way to the child hall and back. No talking. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just elementary shit, right? And, it was just way out shit. Oh, and they were taking yard from cats that were A2B. A2B is when you don't have a job, right? And like I've heard that I've heard places where it's like on the weekend yards, if you were A2B, you couldn't go to yard. I've heard of shit like that, weekends, right? Or whatever. But they were basically trying to deny, they were basically trying to give dudes with A2B rec yard like they do in the hole, like where you were only getting a couple days out of the week to go to yard if you were A2B. So, and then what it was too was this, right? At that time, and it's been well documented, I'm not talking about nothing that's not, you know what I'm saying, that's not public knowledge, you know, because, motherfuckers be on here trying to be like, man, why you on here talking about stuff you ain't supposed to be, like, come on, bro, you know what I mean? Plus, this shit's 20 years old, so, anyways, at that time, Lancaster was cracking. I'll put it to you like that, man. It got so bad that the FBI, motherfuckers were having it their way so tough that the FBI came in and literally, I seen them with my own eyes, arrest a CO and take her off the yard in handcuffs. Yeah, you know what I mean? Motherfuckers were getting it in, you know what I'm saying? So, going from that to all of a sudden now they get this, I think it was a new warden or something. I want to say it was a new warden. And he comes in and he's like, nah, you gotta wear this and that when you go to chow, walk with your hands behind your back, in a single file line, don't get out of line, this and that. A2Bs don't have no yard privileges, this and that. So motherfuckers was like, fuck that. And I guess that one of them or a couple, Spike or Face or maybe both of them, had walked out of line or got out of line that morning, and I want to say I think the sergeant had said something initially, and they knocked the sergeant out, and then whatever happened. I just know that one of the police got their jaw broken. One of them got stabbed up. Another one got beat up pretty bad, whatever. So that happened. And it was crazy. It was a crazy day, but I'll talk about that in another video. I'm going to come with a video of all the staff assaults that I done seen or been part of in another video. But anyways, so we go on lockdown, and they just start snatching people, snatching CRIPs. And they got down and they snatched the San Diego CRIP car. They snatched all of us. And so we're back there in the back. And back then, in Lancaster, A-Yard, which is where Big Mitch from Hard Intentions, he was on that yard at that time. AdSeg was on A-Yard. And so we were over there on A-Yard, and Okay, I'm tripping on the time, y'all. My bad, y'all. I'm almost off. So we were at AdSeg and shit, and they ended up putting us in a cell together and shit. So, which was cool because it's always good to, you're going to be in AdSeg, man. That's a boring ass shit. You ain't got no TV, no radio. You know what I'm saying? You can get a book if you're lucky. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you got a homie within range on the tier that you can fish, and he can send you some basic hygiene shit and a couple of soups if you got it. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool to be in a cell with somebody you know. And so we end up becoming cellies and shit. And sure enough, you know what I'm saying, he's in AdSeg. They snatched him up. He was one of the original ones they snatched up because, you know, 8 trays, right? So, when they were he was one of the first ones that they snatched up when the shit happened. I didn't get snatched up until, they didn't snatch up the SDC car until, I want to say that shit happened in July. They didn't snatch us up until the end of August, because they're doing their investigation. But anyways, so we're cellies and shit. We start chopping it up, and we're the same age. You know what I mean? And we tell war stories and shit. And E Dogg was this motherfucker was a fool, man. And like just funny as a motherfucker, man. And we used to be up all night. We'd get the Maxwell House coffee that you get in the AdSeg, the little bag of Maxwell House, and we'd make us cups of coffee or milk. You keep your milk carton, your little milk carton that you get for breakfast. You keep those, and those are your cups in the AdSeg. And those are you also keep them for your bird bath and all that. So you'd go in a cell in AdSeg and you'd see 20 milk cartons. You know what I mean? Because they got several different uses. But anyways, we'd make our coffee at night, and we'd stay up all night telling war stories, clowning and shit. And man, you know what I mean? And one thing about E Dogg was I used to call it my personal radio though. And that motherfucker could remember any song. Like, you know what I mean? That was his thing, was music, right? And he could remember any song. And so I'd be like, hey, man, bust out that smile. And he'd do it. That's that Tupac song, Smile, with Scarface. And he would do it, you know what I mean? And then, so anyways, in January on my birthday, so Lancaster, we knew that they were building a new AdSeg. And on my birthday, they came, the first day it opened, they came and got me and E Dogg. So we went from a regular building that was AdSeg to the new AdSeg in Lancaster, which is, that shit's fucked up. You can't see out your cell. The only thing you can see in front of you is the wall. You got a skylight way up there. Basically, it's like a shoe cell. The beds are concrete. There was no more group yards. Everything was dog kennels. Yeah. So, man, we went over there, and I ain't gonna lie, that's probably the first time in my life that I've ever really felt depression. Going from regular AdSeg to that shit, the first couple days, that shit fucked me up. Like, damn. Like, I swear I slept for like a day. E Dogg was like, damn, cuz it's fucked up over here. I'm like, man. You know what I mean? Fucked our whole little program up. But they put us next. They put us next to two white boys, two young Woods, and the Woods that came off the 5 yard. I think what is that yard called? E yard, I think it's called in Lancaster. That's the minimum yard, level 1 or whatever. And the two Woods next to us was these young cats about our age, from the minimum yard. So we started chopping up through the vent. Well, E Dogg actually did, and and one of the young Woods, he liked rap music. That was his thing on the streets. So him and E Dogg would be in the vent, and E Dogg would be rapping, and dude would be over there like rapping along and shit. And I used to be like, what the fuck? And like, so him and the dude actually become like best friend. I used to clown him like, that's your best, found your best friend, cuz. And I'm talking about, man, they'll get in the vent, chop it up. And I knew, like, the other Wood, it was crazy because the one Wood that he was hella cool with was like this short little, didn't have no tattoos, just like a regular Wood. And then the Sally, the quiet one, he wasn't really super quiet, but, he was, he like kept, he kept it to a minimum. Like, he'd say what's up to us or whatever, or, really to E Dogg, because E Dogg used to be talking to him and shit. I'd say what's up to him or whatever if I was at the door and they were passing by, going to the showers or whatever, or the yard. But other than that, I wasn't really in the vent with them dudes like that. But E Dogg, man, he used to be on the vent with that dude all day. And I knew, like, his Sally was probably like this motherfucker right here talking to these damn blacks. And, but yeah, E Dogg was a man. He was a fool, man. And, he was about to go home. And, so the homies were, one day the homies were going to sell extract. And, I remember E Dogg was like, man, he was like, man, I love this CRIP shit. Wait. He said, but I can't do it. I gotta go home. He said, my grandmama gonna be mad. And I'm like, well, shit, take your ass home. And he was like, yeah, but what you gonna do? He was like, look, I'm gonna come with a plan. He said, this is gonna be the plan. I'm gonna go ahead and act like I'm having an asthma attack. I said, look, bro, if they in the midst of cell extraction, homie, they not finna come take one person out the cell and then, like, you know what I mean? Man, this dude, like, just coming with these intricate plans of his, man, and dude was a clown, and we ended up not cell extracting. The homies ended up not cell extracting or whatever. I think the police ended up giving us our shit or whatever, but yeah, and then so man, he paroled. We were cellies when he left and shit, and told him, you know what I mean, stay out, bro, you know what I mean? Let's get out and get this money, man, you know what I mean? And I never heard from him again, never seen him again, and it was just, it was crazy that he passed away the way he did. So that's episode number 2. I just wanted to make that video to give us in his remembrance. So wherever you are, E Dogg, much love, homie, and everybody else, much love and respect, man. Y'all have a good one. Black Deuce, I'm out.